In the following exercise, you're going to start a new project with Revit. Learn how to work with the Revit interface and experiment with creating a simple building using basic walls, windows, doors, and a roof. Start Revit, and from the Recent Files window, choose New Project. And then in the New Project dialog box, you can either choose Architectural Template or you can choose Browse just to make sure, and I'd like you to do this just once, to make sure that your default template file is coming from the US Imperial folder. That's going to ensure that you're working with feet and inches. If your template is coming from a Canada folder, you're going to be working with metric. So make sure you pick this one and pick Open. We'll pick OK and the new project will start. Now if you look in the project browser, you can see that level 1 is shown in bold, and that indicates that it's the current view. Whatever view is current, if I switch to my south elevation by double clicking, it shows in bold in the project browser. To go back to level 1, I'll just double click and we're back in this plan view. You should see 4 elevation tags that are pointing into the center of your model. So this is where you want to draw your building, inside these elevation tags. From the Architecture tab, Build Panel, I'm going to choose Wall. In my Type selector, I'm going to change this to Exterior, Brick and CMU on Metal Stud. On the options bar, I'm going to set the height to unconnected and use a height of 10 feet. So if I just type 10 and pick outside, that's going to assign the height. For the location line, I want to change this to Finish Face Exterior. Make sure that Chain option is selected, and now I'll be able to draw a series of continuous walls. Now I'm going to pick a point in the lower left section, not down here, but inside this area bounded by the elevation tags. And I'll just pick a point in the lower left, and then I'm going to drag my mouse up until I see those dimensions appear. And when I want to make sure that I'm working on a vertical axis, you can see the little dashed green line, and also it says vertical at my tooltip. If I move my mouse just a little bit left or right, that dashed line disappears. Then if I get close to vertical, it snaps in. Go the other way, the dashed line disappears. You want to make sure that that dashed line is visible when you're drawing horizontal or vertical segments. I'm going to draw this wall at 38 feet. Now I can just pick a point at 38, or I can just get it somewhere close in the right direction and then type 38 and hit enter, and it's going to be drawn at that length. Now I'm going to drag my mouse to the right until I see that dashed line appear again, and this time I'm just going to drag my mouse over until it's about 50 feet and then pick a point. And I don't care if it's 50 or 51 or 50'6". It doesn't really matter. It's going to be so easy to change it later. Now I'm going to drag my mouse down approximately the length of the first wall, and as soon as I get to that same length, this little tracking line appears indicating a perfect alignment with the first wall. So Revit's very clever. It will often show you little alignment lines or smart alignments indicating when things are in line with other things that you probably want to align. So I'm just going to drag this mouse down and pick a point when that line appears, and now this third wall is the same length as the first. Now I'm going to drag my mouse over to the left, and then I'm going to drag my mouse up, and then left again, and then down, and again watch that line appear. As soon as I get close to the horizontal section to the right, we get a little snap and auto alignment point appear, and then I'll pick a point, and then I'm going to drag my mouse over and pick a third point, right click and pick cancel to complete my wall perimeter. Control, pick another wall, press Control and pick another wall, and hit Delete to remove those. If I pick and drag a crossing through these walls, all of them are going to be selected. Anything that I touch will be selected, and then I can delete that. This time I'm going to put a window selection. The window is crossing the top wall, but it's not completely surrounding it. It is completely surrounding the vertical segment. So when I pick a point, that's the one that's going to be selected. And we'll just pick and hit delete. So you can cancel a command when you're in the middle of a command by pressing the escape key. You can also start a command, and you can just reach over and pick modify, and that's another element to change or modify. And I'll just do a little crossing here, press Control and do another crossing here to pick those up, and press delete. So that's a little bit about selection. Now for zooming, if we want to zoom around this set of walls, I'm going to type ZR and then just pick a rectangular area around that, and it's going to fill the screen. If I want to zoom all, I can either do a ZA. If I want to zoom in a region again, I'll do a zoom region here. ZF and zoom all and zoom to fit are basically the same thing. They are both going to take you out to the extent. So ZA, turn my wheel in, ZF, and we're back out again. There's a third way, and that's to do a double click on your middle button. So if we're zoomed in here on this corner, and I just double click my middle button, that will also automatically do a zoom fit. Let's come back in here a little bit closer again. And this time we're going to add a door. So we'll go to the build panel, and I'll choose door. The size is set at 36 by 84, and that's going to be fine. I'm going to choose tag on placement so that we can add a door tag at the same time. And I'm going to move my door or cursor in here around the middle of this wall. When I move my mouse in and the door appears, I can press my space bar to change the orientation of that door to left or right. If I'm adding this door, and this is true with Windows as well, if I pull my mouse in from the bottom, the door is going to protrude out or swing out in that direction. If I move my mouse in from the top, the door is going to open in. So the side of the wall that you approach with your mouse controls the direction of a door or a window. Really easy to modify it afterwards if you get it wrong, but this is how you get it where you want it while you're drawing. So I'll pull my mouse down, press my space bar so that it's swinging in on that side, and then just pick a point to place the door, and it automatically tags it. The door command is still active, and we could continue to place multiple doors by picking points at other walls. So if I want a door that swings in at the back against that wall, I just move my mouse in, pick a point. If I want another one in this corner, I'll move it in from the side of the wall where I want the door to swing, press space to get the orientation, pick a point to add and tag that door. After I've added the third door, I can just hit escape to cancel that command, escape again to get out of that process and into a regular modify tool. And now we're going to add some windows. So I'm going to go back to the build panel and choose window. We'll use a fixed 24 by 48 inch window. So I'll just reach into my type selector and change this to 24 by 48. You can see a little symbol appear in the middle of the floor plan, so I can't drop this window down. It's asking me to click on wall to place window. If I look down here at the status bar, you can see that prompt. So I'm going to zoom in here around the door, and we're going to add a window. I'm going to clear this tag on placement as well. We can add tags later. And we're going to move the mouse over the wall to the left of the front door. in here, and we'll place a window here. I'll move my mouse in here, and watch, if I come in from the top side, it's going to change the direction of that window. So that's on the inside of the wall instead of the outside. If you want to see more detail, then we can change this detail level down here from coarse to medium. If you want to see it in color, which can be helpful, change this to shaded, and it gives you a better look at the model as well. I'm just going to right click and pick cancel, or hit escape to stop that command. We're going to add another couple of windows on either side here, and if I want the same type of window, I can pick an existing window, and then I can choose to create similar from this ribbon, or I can type CS for create similar, and then I can add another window here, and we'll add another window here, and then just reach up and tap escape twice to finish that operation. If I want to add some more windows on the outside of the building, we can start our window command, and then I'm going to change the size, this time to a 36 by 48. So I'll pick the size that I want, and I'm going to add 11 more windows. So let's see, where are the windows located on the plan? We'll take a look at the handout, and we have a window here, and we have a window here. There's one here, two more in this area, another one here, one around the middle, one around the washroom, 1, 2, 3, and I'm just dropping these in. We'll fine tune the position and placement of the windows after we have them.